Morning! We're making focaccia. This is Samin Nosrat's Ligurian focaccia recipe. It's in her book, Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat, but it's also on her website. It does take a little bit more time than your average focaccia recipe. I always prep the dough the night before, and then it needs to rise for 12 to 14 hours. There are two things that this recipe doesn't lack. The first is olive oil. You put olive oil in the dough, and then you put tons of olive oil in the sheet pan and then on top. The other thing this recipe doesn't lack is salt. You add a ton of salt, particularly Diamond Crystal kosher salt, to the batter, and that seasons every little piece of the bread so nicely. And then after its second proofing, we're gonna add a salt brine on top. I'm gonna sort of encourage this bread to like spread out a little bit on my sheet pan. And then I'm gonna leave it for like 30, 45 minutes just to kind of like let it relax. I really want it to stretch out and fill every corner of the sheet pan. Cover it back up with a little saran wrap, and then I'm gonna put it in my oven with the oven off but the light on. That creates like an insulated, warm-ish environment without being too much. Here's where we're at after about 45 minutes. Then we're gonna add more olive oil over the top. Then I'm gonna press the pads of my fingers into the dough. And I'm kind of like a you can't do too many dimples kind of gal. Then I'm making our salt brine, which is a 1/3 cup of water with a 1.5 teaspoons of Diamond Crystal kosher salt. This water's like a little bit warm just to help dissolve the salt. And then this I'm gonna pour over the top, let it pool in our dimples. And then this is gonna proof for another 45 minutes. Final proofing is done. Tiny bit more olive oil. Dimple her tiny bit more. I'm gonna do a tiny bit of flaky salt. And then this is gonna go in a 450-degree oven. We're gonna cook this for around 25 to 30 minutes. And I'm gonna move it up to the top rack and broil it for 5 to 7 minutes. You have to watch it like a hawk because this is doused in olive oil. When you pull it out, you're gonna douse it in, you guessed it, a little bit more olive oil. As the bread cools, it's gonna suck up all that olive oil, and that olive oil is gonna live in the bread, and the bread is just gonna be this like perfect little olive oiled up square and crispy and delicious as is. It's so good. It has tons of olive oil in it, but it's not greasy, and it's still like so light and fluffy. And the top is deliciously crispy. The whole thing is salty. It's amazing. That's it. You should make this.